What is going on, everyone? It is Andrew from Magic Nation _MTG. Welcome back to another episode. We've got another episode in the books coming at you all right now with, you guessed it, another deck tech. But this time, I'm biting the bullet and I am delving straight into Standard after playing Magic for almost 35 plus years, plus 2 breaks in between for personal life stuff. So, yeah. So very quickly, hold on 1 minute. Snowy, stop scratching at the front door. There's no one there. So, just briefly, lately, my co-host Snowy has been relentlessly waiting at the front door all the time, thinking that someone is there, other than Mommy coming home. So, stop. So if you hear Snowy meowing in the background, don't pay attention to it too much, but yeah. So anyways, so I was going to say, so a new episode in the books regarding Standard, and this is just a quick aforementioned side topic. Snowy, stop. Away from the door. That currently the state of Standard is not very good, and it's not well perceived since the release of the Final Fantasy set with the VV problem. She'll just say it like that and just call it for what it is, the VV problem. The VV is it problem. And then we will start asking ourselves, is it playable? I don't know. No pun intended. But hey, away from the door, dude. Come on, over here. So, anyways, we're gonna have a 3-color deck tech going on, which includes black, red, and blue. Now, I've already had one critic tell me earlier this week while I was visiting a local game store out in the San Antonio area, that I would be putting myself at a disadvantage for having some specific cards in my Standard deck. I actually just attended my very first Friday night Magic event at a local game store. There's so many within the San Antonio area, but yeah. So with having said that, I'm going to show you off very quickly, as my battery is going to die, my camera here. I'm going to start showing off all the cards that I have in my deck and see what you guys and gals think. So again, this is for the entire MTG community and for the state of Standard. If you think that some of these cards should be included or some taken out, please leave a comment down below in the comment section, of course. And I will say it at the beginning of this video instead of the end for right now. Always to remember to hit that beautiful subscribe button, and don't forget to like this video if you like it, and to, of course, check out some of the new content coming out in the near future. And yeah, so, okay. So first off, we got 2 copies of Fear of Lost Teeth. And of course, it's an enchantment creature for a 1/1 nightmare, and of course, when it dies, deals 1 damage to any target, and I gain 1 life. So that right there is a pretty decent card for a 1-drop. Quick little body on the field. Next up, we've got running 2 copies of Scales of Shale. 2 and a black for an instant. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each lizard you control. And then, of course, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains lifelink and indestructible until end of turn. I like this card because for the fact that it says each lizard you control. So let's see here. I'm going to try to. It's too much glare. There we go. Okay. So yes, I've also included a lizard card in this deck. I'm going to reveal that very soon, as soon as I can. Next up, we've got 2 artifacts. Oops. 2 artifacts. We got Killer's Mask, 2 and a black, of course. When Killer's Mask enters, you manifest Dread. Then attach it to that creature. And of course, and if course, this creature also has menace. Next up, we've got, this is an odd choice, and I read it carefully, and I think it's really interesting that I added this, and it just, to me, this card might even speak a little more volume than Killer's Mask. It's Polygraph Orb from Murder at Karlov Manor. I'm sorry, Murder at Karlov Manor. And it's 4 to black. And of course, when it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard, and I lose 2 life. And of course, the second half of it says, pay 2 tap, collect evidence 3. Each opponent loses 3 life unless they discard a card or sacrifice a creature. Now, while this card, I'm not certain it would work well for my deck here, but I think it might for the late game because of the CMC. But I think this card would fit well in Commander. I just think it's a little more versatile for that format. However, I still feel like at least having 1 copy and restricting myself to 1 copy of this card, I think speaks more volumes than Killer's Mask. I'm sorry. Let me know in the comment section down below of what you think of these 2 cards, these artifact cards. Of course. Next up, we've got running 1 copy of Malcolm, Alluring Scoundrel, and Curator of Destinies. But of course, this one is 1 in the blue for Siren Pirate for 2/1, and he has Flash and Flying. And of course, whenever he deals combat damage to a player, put a chorus counter on it, draw a card, then discard a card. If there are 4 or more chorus counters on Malcolm, you may cast the discarded card without paying its mana cost. Now, I like that just for that reason. I think some discard excursion will suffice pretty well. We'll do just nicely. Next up, we've got Curator of Destinies, 4 blue for a 5/5 Sphinx, and of course it can't be countered, and has flying. So when it enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library and separate them into a face-down pile and a face-up pile. An opponent chooses one of those piles, put that pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. I like this. However, I feel like that it should still need some kind of bounce back to your hand effect for this deck in order for it to work. At least 2 copies of a card. If you know any card that has that effect currently in any of the current sets, from Murders at Karlov Manor all the way to Edge of Eternities, please leave a comment down below in the comment section, of course. Next up, we've got Soul Shackled Zombie, 3 in a black for a 4/2 zombie, of course. And of course, when it enters, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard, whether it's yours or your opponent's. If at least 1 creature card was exiled this way, each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. So that's actually not too bad for a decent effect. Next up, we've got Durgar Island Dragon, 5 and a blue for a 4/4 dragon, and it has Skimmering Strike, 1 in the blue with Flying Ward 2. But the instant is Omen. Tap up to 1 target creature and I draw a card. So, not certain what you guys think about that choice of a card. Let me know what you guys think, of course. And next up, we're going to be running 2 copies of Spell Scorn Coven, 3 in a black for a 2/3 Fairy Warlock with flying, and when it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. However, it has an adventure cost. Take it back. 2 in a blue for instant speed. Return target spell to its owner's hand. Then exile this card. Then exile this card. You may cast the creature later from exile. So at a later turn. So we're running two copies of it just for that effect. However, that would be a little bit of a weird choice, just to cast it for the exile portion of it for the adventure. But again, let me know what you guys think. Next up, we've got two copies of Abrea's Attendants, 4 and a blue for a 3/4 Fairy Wizard with flying. And then its adventure cost is Desperate Parry, 1 in the blue for an instant. Target creature gets -4/-0 until end of turn. So we're running two copies of that. Only not sure of what you guys think now of the choice of these cards. Next up, we've got we got two copies of Fear of Imposters, 1 blue for a 3/2 Nightmare enchant creature with flash, and when it enters, counter target spell, its controller manifests dread, and then that player looks at the top two cards of their library, then puts one onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature and the other into their graveyard. If it's a creature card, it can be turned face up anytime for its mana cost. Next up, we are going to be having 4 copies of Skullduggery for an instant speed, which has until the end of turn, target creature you control gets +1/+1, and target creature and opponent controls gets -1/-1. Very simple. Next up, we're running 3 copies. I think it's 3 or 4. I'm not sure. I don't remember at this point if it's 3 or 4. But you'll see it in the deck tech page on my Arcadeck page at some point. I'll have the link in the description below on the main page of this video. So it's 1 of the black for a 2/2 human soldier, and it says when it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each creature that died under your control this turn. However, for its adventure cost, it has Burn Together, pay a red. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to any other target, then you sacrifice it. Not sure what you guys think. I feel like this is the card that might put me in a little bit of a disadvantage, because if I'm going to be drawing for red, then I need to be putting red creature cards in this deck, because then if I want to cast Call a Sellsword, I cannot, because this will not allow me to cast it from exile at a later turn. Next up, we've got 4 copies of Ego Drain. Pay a black for a sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards it. If you don't control a fairy, exile a card from your hand, which means from my hand. So, not certain what you guys think. Next up, we've got going to be running 4 copies of Agate Blade Assassin. 1 in the black for a 1/3 Lizard Assassin. This is where the Lizard card comes in from the Scale of Shale card that I had recently put in. Not certain if you guys can see this with there we go, with the glare. Okay. So it's 1 in the black for a 1/3 Lizard Assassin, and it says whenever it attacks, defending player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So it's kind of a drain and gain life deck, almost, a little bit. And next up, we're going to be playing 4 copies of Snarling Gorehound. And of course, it's just you pay 1 black for a 1/1 dog with menace. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you surveil 1. So that's not too bad. So again, not sure what you guys think. And of course, we've got for the land count, we've got four mountains. We've got 4 mountains. We've got 11 islands. And we've got 11 swamps. So, not sure what you guys think of this deck. If you think that I might actually be putting myself at a disadvantage for those specific cards, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this deck. Do you think this deck deserves or should include a sideboard for this card? And if you think that it should, leave a comment down below in the comment section, of course, what cards you think I should include for this deck tech to go along with a sideboard or a quote-unquote maybe board. So with having said that, guys, that is the episode deck tech for Standard in the books. So again, as I usually say in every video, that Jesus is real, God is real, and that there is a plan and purpose for your life, and that there is a plan and purpose for everything, and that Jesus loves you, and that the only way to the Father, that is through Jesus Christ, because He is the way, the truth, and the life. So with having said that, guys, hope you guys and gals have an awesome day, and don't forget, as I always say, play something magical today. Peace.